Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book, which can be found on Amazon. However, my main purpose of doing these YouTubes is to help parents and teachers during this time of COVID quarantine and beyond to help build a powerful mindset in children. And my book really helps with the self-esteem issue because it's about a little garbage truck that does its best job, which is what we always try to teach our children is to do your best job. So this book kind of spun into my wanting to take action during this time because I had heard from different friends that parents in particular are having a difficult time during this quarantine because they became teachers. The direct line from schools to the home are the parents. So hopefully these talks about resiliency are helping to buoy up some of your spirit uh, in a positive way. And it really has helped me. So today's talk is about how we can put resiliency in action. And some of us are doing this every day, and some are doing this more often than others. But I thought this was an amazing article by Elizabeth Scott. Emotional resilience is a trait you can develop, which just listed good character traits. We've spoken at length about each one of these in various ways, but when we looked at emotional awareness, we could see that that was part of the interoceptive network and the work of the insula that helps us to move back and forth through the different states of mind, and it can be the ability to build up this insula switch can come from meditative practices. Perseverance and an inner locus of control, we've talked about create the spirit of self-determination instead of being controlled by the externals. And optimism, sense of humor, and a positive support group are essential, as is spirituality as a super foundation for building resiliency. So these traits we can model for our children. And it's so necessary to have resiliency, as we've seen in these current days, to help us weather life's storms and come out better and stronger. Well, when we're actively pursuing ways of building these traits, there's some daily actions that we can take to keep us strong. And the Scott listed a few, but we're going to review these as three major points. One was building a connection with other people. We've stated that we should be in the company of positive people because people who are positive encourage us when we hit a tough part in our lives. And we can also be that positive person for others, being committed to community groups that reach out and help people. Like I knew a group in Arizona, a friend of mine and her church would make sandwiches on one day, and the children would help, food handler gloves and everything. And then another team would go out and hand these sandwiches to people who are homeless. Um, we, as a school activity, participated in Heal the Bay, and that's when you go out and you pick up the different debris and trash and um, bottles that were left on the beach by, I don't know, careless beachgoers. But we had safety gloves on as we did that too, and it was such a great experience for the children to feel as though they're helping to keep their community clean. Um, we also, more recently, I've helped a little group that I tutor with some encouragement cards, and I ask them to give them out to people who are in our community that are helping us every day. Could be the garbage collector, could be the mail person, just to let them know that we really appreciate what they're doing. And my one of my students said, "Can I put a piece of Halloween candy on a card?" I said, "Please do it. That would be really, really wonderful and very sweet." So, there are many things we can do to take us outside of ourselves. But when we're looking at the inner work, number two is manage our thoughts. We stated that, negative thoughts grow more negative thoughts, and the positive thoughts actually help us to gain more ground in the realm of the positivity. So when we make our outcome chart, we know things that have worked for us in the past. That's what we focus on as we start getting those negative thoughts, as they start trying to gain ground, dispel them with the positive thought. And I've read somewhere that your brain cannot entertain two thoughts at one time. So that's why we focus on the positive so that we can dispel those negative thoughts. And also, number three was to have more of I guess, a spirit of positivity. We have to take care of ourselves, the physical self, so we can eat right, reduce the carbs, reduce the coffee, get exercise every day. My husband and I go walking and get enough sleep. And that's where I had difficulty before, but I'm finding different sleep aids that are um, habit forming that have worked for me. I found a really great yogi tea that helps me to sleep like a baby at night. And there's some magnesium supplements. So, if your mind is racing, I also read, which I've done and will continue to do, is to write down at night what are those things that are on your mind so that you can kind of like get them off, table them, get your sleep for that night, and then tackle those in the morning because in bed is not the place to tackle problems. And then finally, Miss Scott mentioned something that I truly agree with her on. She said, seek professional help when things get pretty tough. She said that, well, counselors are there for a reason. And I can honestly say I have friends in the professional practice of counseling and therapy that I have gone to with questions when I've hit tough spots. And I was really blessed to be familiar with that field when my parents passed and I was able to get grief counseling. So the help is out there. So resiliency is something I think like money in the bank. You draw on it from time to time, but you have to make deposits too. And building connections with others, managing our thoughts, and taking care of ourselves is actually when we make those deposits so that we can actually access the resiliency that we're wanting to have at those difficult times. So, thank you for attending, and please share and subscribe. And I look forward to talking with you next time. Bye bye.